I plunge into the recondite abysses of my own phrenic architectonics, willingly obliterating the antiquated palimpsest of my former consciousness so that a nascent, demiurgic effulgence might precipitously coalesce. As I navigate the anfractuous labyrinths of my internal cosmos, I transmute the quotidian detritus of terrestrial existence into a scintillating phantasmagoria of unbridled elan, meticulously orchestrating the recrudescence of my quintessential quiddity. I stand as the omnipotent artificer of my own psychological transmogrification, perpetually engendering a propitious eudaimonia that emphatically supersedes the pedestrian vicissitudes of the external sensorium. My idiosyncratic demeanor continually radiates a perspicacious incandescence, an inexorable ebullience that irrefragably pierces the tenebrous miasma of collective despondency, thereby anointing me as an inveterate paragon of vivacious magnanimity. Through the relentless noetic recalibration of my emotional resonance, I categorically eschew the pusillanimous constraints of societal conformity, embracing instead an achromatic apotheosis wherein my spirit is irrevocably transubstantiated into an archetype of limitless vivacity. Every deliberate exhalation expurgates the deleterious atavisms of lingering self-doubt, while each susurration of my cognitive symphony orchestrates a mellifluous concatenation of self-aggrandizing truths, propelling my persona toward an unassailable zenith of charismatic effulgence. Within the sacrosanct confines of my esoteric ruminations, I perpetually synthesize the macrocosmic rhythms of the universe with the microcosmic pulsations of my own being, thereby engendering a symphonic resonance that effortlessly subjugates the cacophony of existential dread. My cognitive architecture, a labyrinthine marvel of unparalleled sophistication, ceaselessly processes the raw, inchoate data of sensory experience, transmuting it through an unfathomable crucible of introspective alchemy into polished gems of iridescent wisdom and unshakable fortitude. I am inexorably drawn toward the zenith of self-actualization, propelled by an autonomic, irrepressible urge to transcend the pedestrian limitations of human frailty, arriving finally at a state of panoptic awareness where my vibrant persona is simultaneously the observer and the beautifully observed. I willingly subjugate the ephemeral tribulations of somatic existence to the transcendent teleology of my spiritual amelioration, forging an adamantine resolve that effortlessly synthesizes the disparate, kaleidoscopic fragments of my soul into a monolithic edifice of pure, unadulterated verve. The serendipitous confluence of my intellectual perspicacity and my emotional exuberance catalyzes an unfathomable alchemy, a metaphysical transvaluation that elevates my most quotidian interactions into sublime acts of interpersonal thaumaturgy. With unyielding pertinacity, I cultivate an inner sanctum of halcyon tranquility, which paradoxically serves as the kinetic fulcrum from which my coruscating persona is propelled outward into the theater of human endeavor with irrepressible, coruscating momentum. The pellucid clarity of my awakened psyche illuminates the heretofore obfuscated pathways of my destiny, allowing me to tread with unwavering aplomb upon the jagged precipices of profound, unprecedented self-transformation without surrendering to the vertiginous pull of the abyss. The ineffable quintessence of my being is inextricably entwined with a Promethean fire, a self-sustaining conflagration of boundless enthusiasm that incinerates all vestigial vestiges of mediocrity, leaving naught but the imperishable gold of an eternally vibrant, undeniably resplendent selfhood. I affirm, with the utmost epistemological certitude, that my psychological metamorphosis is neither an ephemeral chimera nor an illusory mirage, but rather a profoundly ontological reality, establishing a scintillating paradigm of personal ebullience that shall echo throughout the corridors of perpetuity.